Hello, and welcome to a house in Hellworld. I only thing I know about this game is that it says it's an anti-horror game. I'm going to assume that it's got a little funny in it or whatever. Also, this is one of those games that you can find on itch.io, but keep in mind that one of these games are for the Spooktober Game Jams. These creators, these writers work really hard on their work, and I would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. We all would appreciate it if you guys just went and showed a little love and support on their work. As you can see, the visual novel jam thing is going on. You guys can go vote for your favorite one, and there's many others that I probably won't get to because it's going to be exact same like last year. And I'm sorry I didn't plan out something cool for October because my thing was I was going to play a bunch of these. Sorry, I putting my controller together. But I was going to play a bunch of these for Halloween and stuff, but I was just trying to catch up on other stuff, and I didn't feel like it would be responsible for me to just quit on other games. But I have been playing a lot of these cool little horror games. So if you enjoy them, please go check them out. We're going to go ahead and start. I said start. Okay, there we go. 7 days. No, I wasn't going to die in 7 days. Dying in 7 days would be easy. 7 days is how long I have left to scrounge up enough cash to avoid getting evicted. By the way, keep in mind that this says that they don't really necessarily know how many endings it is, but it's possibly 7. I may not get every ending, but I'm going to try to get like 2 or 3 of them. You guys can go find out 7. Where was I at? Okay. I have nowhere to go. If I don't get the cash in 7 days, I was going to be thrown out into the streets. Honestly, I wish some ghost had called me to tell me that she was going to come out of the TV and kill me instead. I'd rather deal with her than my landlord. And on the subject of ghosts, that happens to be at the heart of my one hope. There's rumors that there is a house that's hiding some kind of treasures. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, guys. My sinus is acting up and I'm rubbing my nose, so I didn't read it properly. But anyways. But it's guarded by some kind of ghost. I don't know if I'm a guy or a girl. I'm just going to read it in my normal voice. Some people mistake me for a guy for my voice, so we'll just say it's a guy or a girl. Now, normally, I wouldn't pay attention to crap like that. But unlike other urban legends, this one gets real specific. Like, as I've got an actual address specific, and the people who are supposed to check it out and vanish are really missing persons. Okay, so I don't think that you should go. I don't care how much treasure is in the house. Somebody could tell me there's $1 million in the house, but the house is haunted. And I think I'm going to be on the street like Squidward or spare change because there's just no way I'm going in the house. So after work tonight, I'm going to see if I can find anything. I didn't sleep too well last night. All I could think about was how I'd survive without any place to call home. Aww. We can all relate to that. I'm going to be honest. That's a horror story in itself with the way the world is now. I'm telling you, if we just band together and just be like, the dollar's worthless and do something about it, we'll be all right. Nothing out of the ordinary happens on my shift, but when it's time for my break, I realize I forgot to make lunch. It's never good to be at work. So if you got like if you could buy a bag of chips or something, anything will do. Even though the price of lunch is just a drop in the bucket compared to making rent, knowing I had to spend more money I don't have just sours my meal. Oh, poor thing. Workday's done. It's time to visit the house. Excuse me. There's a factory that made cookies and crackers. Made sweets, cookies, and crackers on the Ashland Street, but it's been closed for ages. You'd think if any place would be used to stash some loot, it'd be there. But my destination was a few blocks north. I hike past empty lots filled with dead trees along with a road in serious need of repairs until I reach a suburban neighborhood. Double checked for my directions. I thought the haunted house were supposed to be in nearly deserted areas, but the other homes here, excuse me, I had to cough. The other homes here are nicely maintained and landscaped. As far as I know, it's the right place, but it doesn't look like the kind of locale for a ghost. I was expecting urban explorations, not a break and enter. It does not look like a bad neighborhood. It does kind of look bad in the back, but it doesn't look that bad. uh the house in question doesn't even look abandoned. There's no graffiti, no broken windows, no for sale sign. And while the lawn won't win any awards, it's just terrible. It's just not terrible, excuse me. God, what am I doing? The only thing that's halfway usual are the old thick curtains preventing anyone from looking in or out on every window. Well, almost every window. There's one on the second floor that opens somewhat. As I'm looking up, I see a pale face staring dead back at me. Okay, the noise scared me more than anything. Jesus. Before I can change my mind about the whole thing, I blink and it's gone. Well, I don't care about rent enough. That would have been my whole thing, is that I just don't care about the rent enough to go in. It could have easily just been my imagination. Although, yeah, you're absolutely right. When you have in your mind something is this, sometimes it could play a trick on you and it can become that. If I weren't so broke and desperate, I'd turn around and go home. But I've already spent the bus fare to get here. I might as well at least knock and see if anyone does live here. As I climb up the steps to the porch, the house door quietly opens, revealing the entryway shrouded in darkness. Hello? There's no response. I try again a little louder, but again, nothing. I absolutely should walk away, right? Especially because it did not say that you opened the door. I would have walked away. But I really can't afford to. And against all better judgment, I step inside. As I step through the doorway, I can't help but think about the horror movies where the stupid protagonist wanders into the place. I know exactly what he's talking about. They clearly shouldn't, and then they have the nerve to look surprised when the door slams shut and traps them. Woo! I jump as the door slams shut because I'm an idiot. Me too. Me too. The interior of the house is a lot rougher looking than it was from the outside. In a dim light, I can see the inky speckled spreads of black mold and patchy stains. The wind has a strange damp heaviness to it, something more than earthy smell of rot and a stench of decay. The shades block the views of the neighborhood. Excuse me, are very different on the inside. There's some kind of terry substance holding them in place. Everything is silent. I can see the stairway going up, but the stairs also twist around towards the basement. I could also continue deeper on this floor. I can see the doorway, but it's too dark to see anything beyond it. Okay, we got options here. Check the door. I grab the handle and twist and pull with all my might, but it doesn't give in the slightest. The thought of being trapped here makes my stomach drop, but maybe I can find a tool or something to bash my way out later. Later? I'm letting y'all know now. My family, new people here that's joining my family, I'm letting y'all know now. This can't happen to me because that door would have came off the hinges. I would have took the door down. Check the shades. Whatever this black stuff is, it twitches and pulsates slightly when I get closer. When I get a closer look, I can't talk today. Well, since we're on the first floor, let's check the kitchen. We're already here. I go into the kitchen. The kitchen reeks of fetid water and decay. Black mold is everywhere and brittle tile cracks underfoot. The freezer, sure. Couldn't possibly be a monster in the freezer, right? Or a spirit or a ghost in the freezer, right? The freezer still seems to be intact. Okay. Alright, that one got me. That one got me. This has to be some kind of trick or something. This is not something that happens in a nice neighborhood without someone calling the cops. The door was unlocked. Surely someone had found this before me if it were real. Then again, this is the kind of thing you'd see on the news for sure, even if it was fake. I checked my phone. No service. Oh my god. The freezer is still working, and there's a frozen, severed head inside. This cannot be real. It looks real. And it most certainly looks real. But I'm not going to touch it to check. Next to the head is a small bag. It takes a sharp tug to pull it out. It's frozen to the floor of the freezer, but I'm rewarded with a jingling sound. I take a peek inside and see a glint of silver in the light. Silver dollars? Not a huge treasure, but forgive me, I thought I heard somebody knock on the door. This is why I don't play scary games, because I promise y'all, they be getting to me sometimes. Oh my, like y'all should have heard how long and silent I was just to hear somebody actually knocked on the door. My goodness. Not a huge treasure, but if they're genuine, it could be worth something. My thoughts are interrupted by the crunching sounds. Oh God. I step backwards as the head shudders, yanking itself free from its icy tomb and float towards me. Nope. Nope. We're out of here. We're gone. You shouldn't have went in the first place. I would have never came back here again. I don't care how much rent I need. You better sell some toe picks or something. You know, a pinky toe pick or something, or a fingernail pick. People will buy anything, all right? You sell pictures, I guarantee I could make a Twitter, a OnlyFans or something right now, and I could just clip pictures of my finger dressed as like little puppets, and I guarantee somebody would try to buy them. I guarantee. 100%. I beat a hasty retreat into the entryway and find the door open. As I take off down the street, I glance behind me. Nothing is following me. Not taking any chances, I keep running until I reach the safety of the bus stop. I don't check the bag until I'm safely home. They're silver dollars, all right. I don't know how much they're worth, but I'm sure it's not enough to cover rent. How much is an actual silver dollar worth? I mean, besides what it's called, but I mean, how much, like, if it was like some kind of weird, like, coin from somewhere else, how much would it be worth? I barely sleep. I spend the night alternating between trying to come up with a logical explanation for what happened last night and worrying about what I have to face next. The thing is, there's no logical explanation, is there? If it was real, why hasn't anyone reported it, other than the stuff I hear online, I mean? You'd think the neighbors might have said something by now. At the very least, reported random people going into the house and in some instance never coming out. Unless the neighbors got something to do with it, then they wouldn't say nothing. Ugh. I don't have time to think too much about it right now. I gotta get to work. There's got to be some other way to raise this cash, right? Except no. Not in the time I've got left. The only way I can think of The only way I can think of to make cash would be to rob someone or break into something, and I won't do that. Yeah, taking from somebody because you don't have something is just never okay. Don't steal, okay? It's not okay, all right? There's always better ways. I'm telling you, them pinky pics dressed like in the mini dresses and stuff, I guarantee somebody will buy them. I'm poor, but I have my principles, and I'm not going to ruin someone else to survive. The manager listens to the news loudly in his office as it's a slow day, but not dead. When it's dead, he gets so bored he tends to watch me through security cameras instead, then comes out to make busy work for me because, heaven forbid, I just stand around because there's nothing to do. I could listen in if I wanted to. Listen to the latest story on business, listen to the story about paranormal investigations. Don't listen. Let's listen to the latest stories on business. Last thing we need is to go into the house with a mindset that something creepy's happening. So it's better not to listen to it. They're interviewing some businessman who's complaining about the working class. It's hitting the usual talking points about avocado toast and lattes. I haven't had a latte since I accumulated a crushing amount of student debt. Even then, that was more for social purposes. Luckily, I'm very grateful that my mother and my father helped me pay off student debt. But people are not that lucky, and no, my parents aren't rich. So it was just a blessing. They just kind of had, every now and again slid me some money here and there to pay off my own stuff. But trust me, I know it is hard when it comes to student debt and just debt in general. You don't have to have student debt. It could be debt for anything. So I understand that this could be really extremely stressful. And even then, that was more of a social purposes. When they started talking about how people would rather stay home and get welfare than work, I stopped listening. Sir, I hate when people say that. People rather stay home and pull from the government than to work. Do you know you can't survive off of $13 an hour anymore? You can't survive off of $18 an hour anymore. Ugh, people make me sick. And I bet you this person is rich, got a house with a pool, don't have to worry about whether or not they have to choose between eating or paying rent or eating and paying light bills. That just makes me so sick. I promise, ugh. Once I become this huge YouTuber, I am going to help as many people as possible because that's how my heart that's how my heart works. I don't care about everybody else's heart. I don't care about raising money for organizations and stuff. No, I'm gonna personally help certain people because that's just not okay for people to say stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Sorry, this one touched home for me. That little topic right there touched home for me because I hear people say that, and we're all struggling in some way. If I tried to live off welfare, I would have been in the streets years ago. Just disgusting. Workday's done. It's time to visit the house. Just like last time, I opened the door and it greets me. Check the door. Shuts tight like last time. Okay. Just hope it'll let go. Excuse me. Just hope it'll let go like last time too. Alright, check the shades. Some post-saving black stuff as before. I'm not touching it. Okay. So we went in the kitchen. There were other options in the kitchen. I think I'm gonna do that too. Yeah, I'm gonna go back in the kitchen because there were other options in the kitchen. Black mold is everywhere and riddled. Okay, so we read that already. Guess we can look in the fridge again. Worst case scenario is a severed head in there again. The door of the fridge is sticks and I have to give it a sharp tug to open it. Oof! Oh my god. The corpse is twisted and broken. There's the smell of death, but it's not very strong, which means she has not been dead too long. No. This can't be real, right? Someone would have definitely found it in an unlocked house by now. Next to her is a small bag. I poke it with my foot and hear it jingle. It seems like it's full of coins, and judging by how it feels against my toe and shoe, and it sounds like it, and the sounds it makes, I gingerly pulled the string, keeping it closed and seeing a glint of silver reflecting by the light of my phone. As I investigate further, I give the corpse an unapologetic look. I'm so sorry, but you're dead and I'm broke. There's a variety of coins in here. Some silver dollars, some foreign coins, but all shiny intensely in the dark. Invitingly, in the dark. Forgive me. This is wrong, but what else can I do? I need it for rent. I take the bag, tucking it into my pocket. There's a dull pop and cracking sound as the head begins to shudder and turn towards me, its neck stretching. Ugh! Look at that thing. Okay. As I stand there in shock, its jaw begins to open, revealing... Shoo! Sorry, it was a bug in my face. It was a little gnat. Stands there as where was I at? Excuse me. As I stand there in shock, the jaw begins to open, revealing the jagged teeth and pinpricks of white glow in those empty black eyes. Nope. No. I bolt out of the kitchen, back into the entryway, and dash through the mercifully open door. Getting out of here. I don't hear anything chasing me, but it doesn't stop me from running all the way back to the bus stop, jingling with the guilty fine. I do my best to put on a calm face and I climb aboard the bus, but nobody notices me. I don't check the bag until I'm safely home. I'm no coin expert, but I guess it's worth 500 or so. It'll help if it was nowhere near, It'll help, but it's nowhere near enough. Jesus, how much is your rent? I mean, my rent's pretty high too, so I can't really say nothing, but your rent's got to be higher. I have to brave the house again tomorrow. I don't know what time I finally drifted off, but it was late and getting up in time for work, Get up in time for work felt like coming back from the dead. Speaking of, I have no reasonable explanation for the house other than it was haunted. Every skeptical fiber of my being has given up. Something... Sorry, had to sneeze again. Something well outside my understanding of reality dwells within that house. And I'm not going to face it again tonight. And I'm gonna have to face it again tonight, Shoo, Buggy, shoo. Forgive me, this bug really bumped me in the head and I hit my mic and knocked everything loose, so forgive me. Took a look in the mirror and instantly regretted it. I look like hell. Can't go on like this. Won't go on like this. My choices are die in that house or die in the streets. Jesus. While I was on the bus to work, some idiot in a pickup truck in front and discovered that the bus can't stop on a dime and also wins the most collisions. Might have misread that, but I called the manager to let him know I'm going to be a bit late, but despite sending him a picture of the collision, he insists that late is late and he's going to have to write me up. I'm not exactly sure what kind of magic they expected me to use somehow to speed up this situation, and when I arrive, I have to listen to him whine about having to do the crap I have to do at the start of every shift. Considering how often I hear him listening to various broadcasts in their cozy little office, I expect he's more irritated on having to do actual work, and it's just taking it out on me. I hate bosses like that. Work day's done, time to visit the house. Check the door. The door is shut tight. Check the window. Oh, I'm sorry, what? It's somewhat tacky, but it doesn't come off on my fingers, although it leaves an oily residue that smells faintly of licorice. I don't think I'm hungry enough to see how it tastes, though. Interesting. So there's some type of licorice or licorice substance. I hate licorice anyway, but that would have been scary. This is like a nightmare for me already. There was still something in the kitchen we could check, so I'm gonna go check the kitchen again. And you know, it's stinky, it's moldy, creaky floors. Let's check the sink. The sink was the thing that we needed to check, and other than that, it doesn't say anything else. So we're gonna check the rest of the house after this. The sink is full of brackish black ichor crap and smells absolutely horrible. Like if you took a bunch of dead rats, stuck them in a blender, ew, with water, oh god, and then let it fester for a week. Oh god. I need a sip of water myself now. My goodness. Oh god. Alright, we're good. We're good. Looped around the faucet is a drawstring to a small bag. I pull it out, although the smell almost makes me gag. Curious, I take a look inside and see something golden flickering in the light of my phone. I'm glad I brought a glove so I didn't have to touch the stuff. I give the bag a little shake, and a couple of coins fall into the palm of my gloved hand. Is that gold? Like real gold? I've never handled real gold before, but the coins are really heavy for the size and even stained with ichor. I can see some intricate designs. I clean some off with the gloved finger. It's certainly shiny. I try to bend it. It gives, so I stop. Dense, heavy, shiny. I'm no expert, but I really do think it's gold. 2 gold coins, soft enough to bend. No idea to make how many carats, no idea how many carats, but it's valuable. And my heart begins to pound with excitement. The treasure's real. Oh my god, it's real. Gotta be more around. I could make rent. I could make rent and maybe even put a dent in my debts. My thoughts are interrupted by a splash. Ooh. A long black hand stretches out from the ichor-filled sink. With a wet slap, the hand slams itself onto the filthy counter, and with a sickling set of pops, an arm follows, long and twisted. No, not now. I'm so close to the treasure. Maybe I can hide from it before it sees me? As I consider this, the sentence doesn't make sense, so I'm assuming that this was an accident. Unless it's a splash. So as I consider this, it's a splash. The rest of the creature bursts from the sink, spraying blood from the source. No god, look at that. How could you not be scared? Yum yum, delicious, I guess. Then it begins to wail. Nope, frick no. Can't find treasure dead. As I run as fast as my legs can go, I burst out of the door. We're out of there. We're gone. I don't hear anything chasing me, but it doesn't stop me from running all the way back to the bus stop. 2 gold coins. I have no idea how much they're worth, but a check online says... Sorry, my phone was ringing. I was trying to stop it. But a check online says maybe anywhere from 800 to 1,000. Which is great, except I can't exactly... Get away from here, you buggy. The buggy is just here, just bugging me. Get out of here, buggy. Which is great, except I can't exactly wait around for a buyer. I'll have to pawn them, so probably at best I would expect 500. So 500, you got 500 last time. You got 500 this time. That should be 1,000. Might be close, yeah. Like she said, like they said, excuse me. That might be enough to get an extension on the eviction, but I'll still have nothing for next month. I'll have to brave the house again tomorrow. I post some of my experience online, and the resulting flame war got me banned from the community. Half of the people declaring me, as a liar, contributing to the misinformation and superstition, while the other half wanted to know more and share similar experiences. I did learn a bit from the resulting mass. There's a conspiracy that the government is trying to suppress discussion of supernatural, and that's why nobody's talking about it. The irony is that even if the government's not suppressing it, the moderators are, so either way, there's a grain of truth there. Some people have messaged me urging me not to go back, that the threat is real and whatever presence is in that house is trying to warn me away, but pretty soon it will get serious and I could disappear. Well, if I don't get more cash, my online presence is going to disappear anyway. I've decided I want to go out of life. Oh God. I want out of this life. Forgive me. That just like stopped my heart, because this person is almost dealing with the same situation that I'm dealing with. And you're like, dang it, like, how am I going to make rent? How am I going to pay lights? How am I going to do this? Like, you're always worried about money and stressing over, like, not just worrying about money, but you're also worried about, like, taking care of your family, taking care of you, taking care of doctor stuff. Like, you're worried about everything. And that's the scary part. And the fact that you want out of this life, it hurts my spirit, because I've always been told, keep fighting. It gets better. Just keep fighting. And that's what I tell people on my channel, is that if you felt like this, just keep going. It will get better. It will. You keep fighting. You keep working towards something. Find a goal and work towards it. And you keep fighting for it. And you keep going. And then just to think that there's people out there that may not see my videos and may not hear me say this. So they're just like this. Like, I'm dealing with this stress. I'm worried about money, finances and stuff. I'm worried about my health. I'm worried about this. So I want out. I'm done. It makes me really sad. Find the treasure or die trying. But either way, I want this to be over, and I don't care how anymore. Today is painstakingly slow. There are no customers. There's nothing to do. I don't daydream. What else? If there's nothing to do, then there's nothing we can do. I just stand at the till. I just stand at the till, thinking about the house and its possible treasures. Imagine if I actually find something really valuable. I could pawn off enough to make rent, and then sell the rest properly. I remember the story about some rare gold coins some people found that were worth almost millions of dollars. My freaking Xbox scared me. Excuse me. I'd be happy with a fraction of that. I'm not gonna lie. All I need is 100, Lord. 100,000, and I'll be okay. I'm not even that greedy. I take 20,000 right now at this point. The manager comes out and complains that I'm standing here and tells me to clean the store since I clearly have time. The store's already cleaned enough, and it's pretty clear that he's just making busy work for me. You monster! Workday's done. It's time to visit the house. Check the door. Door shut tight. Check the shades. Shades smell like licorice. We went in the kitchen twice, and there's nothing in the kitchen. So I guess we can go upstairs. We go upstairs. Check the closet. The closet is empty except for the old shoebox. I pop the lid open, and there's a small satch of coins. Some look foreign, Some look foreign. A few look like they could be silver. Are they covered in something that you can't tell if they're silver or not? Or you can't tell the material, because there is some material that looks kind of, silver. Anyways, but all of them look old and potentially valuable. I don't know which coins are worth what, so I just scoop them into the inside of my pocket of my jacket, as the box itself looked like it could fall apart at any time. My collection is heavy and noisy. I close the closet door, and I am about to look around for anything else when it pops open again with a click. An unnatural darkness seeped from inside. Oh God. That scared the crap out of me. I had to take a second. Then a worryingly large claw grips the side of the door. I didn't even see the claw right there until just now, until he said it. I'm not sure if I stand there because I don't believe that this could be happening because I'm stupid, or just because I gotta find more loot in case that stash doesn't pawn for much. Oh no, sir, you get out of there. I don't care what that is. I don't care about money anymore. I care about you. Now, get out of there. Or ma'am. I'm gonna say it's a guy. I'm gonna say it's a guy until they tell me otherwise. The rest is the rest of the creature follows, possibly a large. Frick! I turn and charge charge down the stairs. Excuse me. Hopping over the railing and out the door, which is thankfully open, I run down the street towards the bus stop. I don't think the creature followed me, but I don't pause until I'm safe under the streetlights. Me neither. I would have kept running until I found people. I'm like, there is something chasing me. I know it. I just, in my spirit, it just says it. I don't really feel the pain of my ankles until the adrenaline starts to wear off, and I realize that landing was a bit rougher than I thought. When I return to inspect what I find, I don't know. Some of the coins look like they could be really valuable, but there's stuff like Canadian loonies and toonies. Is that what money is called? Oh, that is so awesome. Canada's awesome. Are Canadian coins called loonies and toonies? Mixed in as well as some of the places I don't even recognize. I don't have enough time to seek out the buyer. I have to pawn these, but I can already tell it's not going to be enough for rent. Without any way to authenticate them, the shop won't give me anything close to the marketing value. I'm out of options. I gotta go back tomorrow. 2 days left. If I cash in what I collected, maybe I can get an extension. Thing is, just getting an extension is just delaying the inevitable. Unless I find a bulk of loot, and soon, I'm probably going to get myself killed just searching the house. Sorry, I had a cough and I didn't want to cough in the mic, so forgive me. It'd be nice to go during the day, but I can't afford the time off, and it's not like my manager's going to say, "Oh sure, you need time off to explore a haunted house." I decided I want out of this life. Find the treasure or die trying, but either way, I want this to be over, and I don't care how anymore. That sucks. That really sucks. And that makes me so sad to hear that. Today is painstakingly slow. There are no customers. There's nothing to do. Let's clean the store. He's gonna complain if we don't. The store's already clean, but I've got nothing else to do. I resort the shelves and dust the areas, that I usually skip. At the end of my shift, I'm curious that my manager is going to say anything, but he never leaves his office, and it's pretty clear nothing I do matters. Wow. Workday's done. It's time to visit the house. Check the door. Door shut tight. Check the shades. Smell like licorice. So let's go back upstairs. Boy, I don't want to go back upstairs, but that thing was big. Not exactly thrilled about the idea of getting on my hands and knees on some dirty, decaying carpeting to look under a rotting bed, but it's less work and probably less disgusting than trying to cut open the mattress and pulling up the floorboards. I shine a light around and see an old wooden box. I pull it out and look inside to find a collection of sun-dried shinies. I'm sorry, what? Okay. Some coins and a few pieces of jewelry. I'm no expert, but the coins look genuine. They feel heavy, and while they're dirty, the detailing is excellent. I'm much less sure about the jewelry. Could be well-crafted fakes, and they could be worth a good amount. I think there's a thing you can take. The way you can like test the jewelry to see like at home, like if it's silver, if it's gold, if it's, whatever. But I can't like for the life of me remember. Like I remember like if you put gold in something and if it turns a color, it's fake or something like that. So I'm sure he can possibly Google it and find out what it is. I've got no way of telling, so I just dump the contents into my jacket pocket. As I stand there thinking about where to check next, I noticed that the shadows growing around the bed. Oh, sweet Jesus. Not again. He left the closet and got under the bed. I hear the scraping sounds, something heavy and sharp digging into the rotten wood. Before I see the massive white claw hand emerge from the darkness under the frame. Oh God, look at that thing. That thing is scary. He looks terrifying. The claw pulls a massive creature that somehow manages to squeeze out through a narrow space. It's sort of like watching a cat squeeze under a fence, like it's somehow more liquid than solid. When a cat does it, there's less popping and cracking through. Even though my heart's racing and all common sense is screaming at me to run, at the same time it's incredibly fascinating. It's just so impossible, and yet here it is, happening before my eyes. Then it turns and glares at me. F no. We're out of here. I turn and charge towards the stairs, hopping over the railing and out the door, which is thankfully open. I run down the street towards the bus stop. I don't think the creature followed me, but I don't pause until I think I'm safe under the streetlights. I don't really feel the pain of my ankles until the adrenaline stops and wears off. Okay, so the same thing happened to your ankles, and the fact that they didn't pop and snap off, be grateful. And I realized that landing was a bit rougher than I thought. The next morning, I take what I find to the pawn shop, and I am able to get a little over $350 for it. I feel like with everything he found, he should have gotten a lot more. Coins are very valuable, especially if they have certain details on it. There's this guy I watch on TikTok. I don't know his name, but he talks about how certain coins, if you find something on a specific coin or a specific dollar or whatever, they could be extremely valuable, almost $800, $1,000, stuff like that. So I feel like he should have got more than $350, but I really wish I could have taken it to something more reputable, but I need this money fast, and it's not enough for rent. I'm out of options. I gotta go back tomorrow. One day left. I'm going to die. There's no way the house will let me come back. It's ramping up the threats, and we're clearly approaching find out territory. I don't have a choice though. I've decided I want out of this life. I find the treasure or die trying, but either way, I want this to be over, and I don't care how anymore. Middle-aged woman enters the store. She scans the shelves with some kind of a scrutiny with some ancient, high priest would use to pick a victim for sacrifice, and I know it's going to be one of those days. Finally, she clears a shelf of its toilet paper and comes to me to cash out. Store policy, on the other hand, forbids selling any more than 2 packages of toilet paper per customer. People are been panicking buying, thanks to a certain news outlet which has been declaring that the end of times are near. Great. So it looks like they're back in Schmoshvid. I can't say the word because y'all already know, but y'all know it rhymes. It's something with a C. We're back in those thingies, and it's not like we ever left. Shovid, still exists. It's just not. People aren't reporting on it. It's not newsworthy anymore, so they're not reporting on it anymore. Now, considering I'm going to be trying to plunder a haunted house tonight based on the rumors of treasure, I really shouldn't judge too harshly. Maybe we're approaching end of times, and the dead has been rising, from their graves, and the moon will turn to blood, and the dogs and cats will live together amongst mass hysteria. I don't care. They're not the ones working retail while facing eviction, and besides, all the toilet paper in the world is not going to protect you from a ghost. I can tell she knows about the store policy by the intense stare she's giving me, just waiting for me to say something. If it was me, I would explain the store policy. I calmly and politely explained to the woman that it is against the store policy to sell more than 2 packages of toilet paper to any one person. As you might expect, this is the lighting, the fuse on a firecracker, and then sitting around watching, hoping it won't blow your face off before it does just that. Of course, after a shudder through her privileged white parade, she screams for the manager, who then proceeds to do his impression of a sea cucumber by expelling his guts, and by guts I mean throwing me under the bus so he can retreat safely back into the office. Then writes me up. Oh, by the way, did you know that sea cucumbers are toxic and that's why most other creatures don't eat them? Yeah, add that to the metaphor. That is absolutely true. They are extremely toxic, and I wish I knew that as a kid, because when I was younger, I dissected one in school. I dissected a sea cucumber in school, and I should have known that, but I didn't know that. And he wrote him up, her up, them up. He wrote them up. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I would have quit. At this point, you don't feel like you're gonna make rent. Your job's not gonna pay you that much. I would have quit. The workday's done. It's time to visit the house. Once again, we're gonna go through it again. Check the door, nothing. Check the shades, licorice. We go back upstairs? Was everything in here? Okay, we checked everything. Guess I'll head downstairs. And the kitchen? Kitchen reeked, stink. Okay, there was nothing in the kitchen. So now we check downstairs. I just skipped that, excuse me. I go downstairs. It's even darker than in the basement, and my light makes a poor job of giving me any kind of vision. The air is cold and foreboding, and the smell of decaying gets stronger as I reach the bottom. Each step sticks to the floor. Also, there's a smell of black licorice, which seems oddly out of place. Cool, clammy air washes over me as I descend the stairs. There was precious little light before. Now I'm completely reliant on my phone. The rough concrete floor crunches underfoot as I step on tiny fragments of stone. There's nothing here save for blah 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 blah. Reread. There's nothing here to save for some stained box in the corner, except for some stained box in the corner. I think that was a miswrite on their part. But no, again, don't judge these games, okay? They be making these games in like hours, 2 days tops, okay? You would make a mistake too. I've been making mistakes all through this, so let me shut up. So we're gonna shut up. Check the box. It stinks of mold, fetid water, and wet cardboard. Disgusting. That, like, I can smell it. I hate and I love when games explain what something smells like, because I can smell it. It's like I can almost smell it because I've smelled it before. In the corner is a small bag. It jingles when I touch it, so I pick it up and fiddle with the twine, keeping it closed. The light bounces off the silver coins I see inside. They're bigger than quarters and have a nice heaviness to them, so I'm guessing they're silver dollars. Not really a treasure. The bag's too small to hold that many coins, and I doubt it will cover rent. Still, I can't complain. It's more money than I had before. I pocket the bag. Oh, hello. Hello, you. In the corner. Maybe I should have done that. A pair of stark white eyes peer at me from within the stain. It would be comical if it weren't for the fact that it shouldn't be physically possible, excuse me. Oh yeah, nah, I would have been gone. You see that? Darkness seems to seep from the box. The shadow seems to be eating the light as it swirls and spreads. Oh, okay. I'm so tired. I don't have the energy to run. Pretty soon, I won't have any place to run home to. I just wait. I don't care anymore. I mean, at this point, yeah. This is what you want. I don't care anymore. The shadow slides up towards me. A chill passes through my body, but I ignore it and close my eyes. I feel a grip me, grip my shoulders, grip me by the shoulders. I wait. It shakes me gently. I wait. Oh my gosh, open your eyes. What's wrong with you? Hello, who are you? She's kind of short for a demon. She shakes me a bit harder when I don't respond. Dude! What? So it was a guy. Okay. Oh my gosh, you're supposed to be scared. Why are you just standing there? You're not going to kill me? If I wanted to kill you, you would have been dead night one. Other people get so scared they never return. Other people who like being scared at least scream. What is your problem, dude? What's my problem? What's my problem? I take a deep breath. Lady, let me tell you about my week. Oh, look at her. If she is not the absolute cutest thing I've seen. Oh, she is adorable. And now we're here. And that's been my week. Yuri. Her name is Yuri, right? I hope that's her name. Unless he's just calling her that. If I can't scrap together the cash, I'm going to be homeless. My job doesn't pay me a living wage. And I've not been able to get anything better. Also, it's slowly killing your mind and soul. So, at least she cares about me. That's so sweet. I've been watching. You've been spying on me? You've repeatedly came into my house and took stuff. Sorry. I've been going as long as I can, but everything's catching up to me. I need to find whatever treasure, if there's any, is hidden away here. Yuri, that's the ghost, gazes at me thoughtfully with all three eyes. I didn't even notice the eye on her head. That's adorable. She invited me to the kitchen, a normal kitchen, for ice cream. This is my favorite person. Oh my god. Y'all don't understand that I have an addiction to ice cream. Ice cream was supposed to be my name, but I was like, there's already somebody on YouTube named Ice Cream, so I'm not gonna take their name. So it's like, Voyia's fine. No one should have Voyia as their name. She invited me into the kitchen, a normal kitchen, for ice cream while we chatted. All this just to make rent. Yep. For like a month before you have to do it all over again. Yeah. She regards me sadly, her brows furrow and closing all but her third eye. Did you want to live here with me instead? I gape at her. I'm sorry, what? Move in with me. Stop dealing with your landlord. Stop worrying about rent. Move in with a ghost. You might as well. You've been here every night. Point. She smiles. What am I gonna do about food? Don't you like ice cream? Yes, I adore ice cream. I would have moved in right then and there. I'd have been like, so can I move my stuff downstairs in the basement? Is a creepy person gonna bother me in the basement? Were you the creepy person? I do, but don't you have any other kinds of food? Well, there's a cake in the fridge, and there's licorice. Well, at least we know why we're smelling it. And there's marzipan. Do you have any actual food? She stares at me for a few moments. I guess we could make room for food. Is milk food? Oh god, it's a start. I use it on my Monster cereal. How are you not a diabetic? Just to be clear, starch causes you to have diabetes in a sense. You can go look it up and correct me respectfully, but I do believe that starch is what causes it. But if you eat sugar and you become a diabetic, it means that you were probably already a diabetic. You just didn't have anything that triggered it until your nice little candy bar or ice cream.
I'm not alive.
I mean, fair. How did you die, if you don't mind me asking?
I didn't.
But you're a ghost.
I'm a fairy spirit.
But you're not alive.
Right.
If you're not alive, but you're not dead, what are you?
A fairy spirit. Like I said before, sir. You could say I'm an unborn, if you want to get all technical.
I decided that's a conversation for another time. You want me to quit my job? Why do you want me to quit my job?
Besides the fact that it's slowly killing you?
Sure.
It eats into your time and stresses you out dealing with jerks when you could be doing stuff.
Like?
Don't you have any dreams you could be chasing?
No, they're dead.
Don't talk like that.
This ghost is more like me than anything. This is me in ghost form. This is Voyia in ghost. If y'all want to know how I am, that's how I am. I addicted to sweets, but more ice cream than anything. I'm sweet. I don't want people to give up on their dreams. I want all people to go for their dreams. Like, this is me. This is me, and she's sweet. And I'm the type of person that would invite somebody in my house if I felt like they were struggling that bad. Are my dreams important?
Dreams are crazy important to us fairies.
What am I gonna do for money in the meantime?
Money is not important.
It kinda is to us humans.
It totally isn't. Money only has value because humanity gives it value. Literally nobody and nothing else cares.
See, if y'all stop giving the money value, then they'll have to respect us. Let's do the Fallout route and make bottle caps expensive. Like let's act like bottle caps are expensive, and then like they would have to like follow us, and then figure out how to get more bottle caps. Okay, but how am I gonna pay for food?
Look, you need money, let me know. Got that stuff lying around.
Not only is she trying to be my sugar mama, but she's got money lying around. She's got ice cream. I'm in love. I'm in love. Who says you can't find love in a visual novel? Ooh, this woman got me in a chokehold. I don't care what nobody's saying.
Doesn't do much good to me. Except for buying ice cream, of course.
I kind of want to ask her more about that, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling that that's a conversation for another time. Okay. Why do you call me dude?
I think mortal is kind of cliche.
Even if they're a woman?
If you're mortal, you're a dude. At least to me. Other fairies use other terms.
Okay. Well, why? Why do you want me to move in? What do you get out of it?
Maybe I like you.
If that was the case, you would have just asked me earlier. She smirks.
Fine. So, despite all my powers, guess what's the one thing I can't do?
I'm gonna be a funny and say drive a car.
Okay, other than that, I can't own property. I'm not mortal, which means I don't have paperwork. I used to hunt this abandoned place on Spring Bank Drive. I was supposed to say Spring Bank Drive, but it was torn down. Scaring people away doesn't work if they just bulldoze the place, and it's not like I can buy it off of them. Impersonating a human only goes so far, and it does fall apart as soon as people want crazy stuff like credit history. But I can't talk today, forgive me. Some unseemly fays have tried just killing people, but that just gets the place firebombed instead. You have any idea how hard it is to get property for hunting purposes? No. But then how'd you get this place? Hunted real estate agency.
What?
Hunted real estate agency. Everything's in their name, but paperwork, nice and human legal, and human legal. There's a hunted real estate agencies. Do you pay the money? Sometimes, but they rarely ask for it. It's more favors and contractual obligations. If I have a human of my own, though, I could owe the deed instead, and I wouldn't need the agency anymore. With a legitimate living with a legitimate living person to officially own the place, nobody will bulldoze my home out from under me again.
So that's all you care about? I thought I was your new ice cream buddy. Let me get some water. I feel used and abused, and I love it as long as I get ice cream. I like ice cream. Would the agency be okay with you getting out of your contract like that?
Oh yeah, it's encouraged. Something to do with improving human-fairy relations.
So why me?
I can't scare you anymore. It could be that you're really special, but as far as I can tell, you're in such a dark place that I think you'll die if I don't. If you were just greedy, you'd just be scared of me. If you were just thrill-seeking, you'd still be scared of me. You were ready to just give up and die.
Oh, look at her sad face. It's so cute. I'm sorry, that sad face is adorable.
You've never experienced life and you were just gonna throw it away. No fairy would just leave you like that, not even the unseemly.
I don't even want to know what they are. They sound horrible. And curiosity wants me to go look this up after I'm done recording.
And they sure as heck would kill people, but only if they want to live.
They only kill people who didn't want to die?
Unseemly fairies only kill people they've got beef with. They're like their bad reputation, but they're not heartless. Dude, relax. They're not heartless.
Going out screaming in merciful comments to death by Sarah, Aww. She is too cute and adorable. The kind of hurt you see in you now is the kind of thing that would have utterly destroyed a fairy. But because you're mortal, your body is keeping you going even though you don't want to. I'm not just gonna stand by and let you get worse. I won't force you to stay, but I'm offering and asking you to accept offering you to accept for your own sake. That I can't talk today. Forgive me. Give her an answer so Voyia can stop reading because she can't talk today. So I have to make a decision. I could live in the dark, cold Hellworld, or I could move in with a ghost. Not really much of a choice. Alright, I guess I could get used to the ichor and the creepiness and...
What? No. You'd be living in the physical space of the house. I'm not using it much. The spooky version of something is something I created to scare the crap out of people. You were spirited away the moment you came through the front door. I mean, really, we're just gonna share the kitchen. I need the space, some space for the ice cream.
So you just want to share the freezer? Okay. The physical space? Yuri shows me around. The house, the real house, is mostly empty and perfectly ordinary. Plenty of room for me. She really was just using the kitchen. I noticed the laptop during the tour. Is that yours?
Oh, yeah. I'll set you up with the Wi-Fi password once you've settled.
You have internet?
Just because I'm a fairy ghost, you think I don't need internet access? Everyone does. How else am I going to start rumors that this place had treasure?
And that is how I came to live in the house in Hellworld. Well, isn't that adorable? You guys give credit to the writing, the coding, illustration, yeah, all that stuff, aka Grumpy Old Milk. Smilk. Okay, his name is Smilk. I hope it's Smilk. Music and sound effects, as y'all can see, playtesters, even give them some other support. Dedicated to the beautiful memory of my late wife, Max, and my late cat Norton. I'm sorry to hear that, love. I really am. Oh my goodness. You guys go show. This game actually made me kind of happy. I needed a pick-me-up, and this was the pick-me-up I needed. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it. Go check out this game. Let me know the endings that you got, if they're different, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace and love.